Welcome, my dear students, to this beautiful class that we are having this morning. And as I gave you in introduction, that today we are going to begin with The Enemy, written by Pearl S. Buck over here. So let us have a quick description about Pearl S. Buck. As I told you, Pearl Sidon Stricker Buck, the full name. Okay, an American writer and novelist, was also awarded the Pulitzer Prize and Nobel Prize in Literature. Now, I already gave you the briefing of the chapter The Enemy, what it is about. Now, if we look at the introduction here, so it says it is the time of World War and it is World War II. An American prisoner of war is washed ashore in a dying state and is found at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor. Now this Japanese doctor happens to be the central character of your story. Okay, should he save him as a doctor or hand him over to the army as a patriot? That is what a question is. And the moment I bring this word patriot here, I give you a statement over here. You know, it is patriotism versus humanity. Just the way I had discussed it with you, it is very important to understand that in a situation wherein apparently you are a patriot, but it is also equally important to be humane in your approach. So if you are caught in such a situation wherein it is patriotism versus humanity, and in case if you choose humanity, do you end up being a traitor? This is what the question arises, and this is all in reference to when you are dealing with an enemy. So if you encounter an enemy, what are you going to do? Is it going to be patriotism? It is going to be humanity. If you choose humanity, do you become a traitor? Or do you feel that being human is the most important thing, and to save human life as a doctor becomes a moral obligation for Dr. Sadao? So we begin with the chapter, and I hope you have your books together, and here we begin. So it says Dr. Sadao Hoki's house. Now Dr. Sadao Hoki is the Japanese doctor. It is the time of World War II, and Japan and America are in a state of war. So here on the first page, as you get in this section here, and even till here in the next section, you come to know about Dr. Sadao Hoki's house, the way he was raised as a child, etc. Okay, so Dr. Sadao Hoki's house was built on a spot of the Japanese coast where as a little boy he had often played. So his house was at a particular spot on the Japanese coast, that is the beach line, wherein he used to play as a kid. The low square stone house, now they have given you the details here. The low square stone house was set upon rocks well above a narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. So here we get a description. So the writer says that the low square stone house, it was a low house apparently made up of square stones, and it was set upon rocks. Okay, and it was a narrow beach, and it was outlined with bent pines. So pines are lovely trees. Generally you can see them, you know, in hilly areas. So there they had bent pines. As a boy, Sadao had climbed the pines, these trees, supporting himself on his bare feet. So when Sadao was a child, when he was a young boy, he used to climb up these pine trees, and this of course he used to do bare feet, that is without wearing shoes or anything else, as he had seen men do in the South Seas when they had climbed for coconuts. And how he used to climb? He used to climb just as the way as he had seen in the southern seas, the way these professionals used to climb the trees, the coconut trees, to get coconuts. His father had taken him often to the islands of those seas, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy at his side. So see, his father used to take him to the islands. So there were these islands, okay, in those South Seas. And every time Sadao's father used to take him there, he used to say something to his little brave boy every time. And what was that statement? He used to say, those islands yonder, yonder means there, okay, There. Those islands there, they are the stepping stones to the future for Japan. He used to say to Sadao that, can you see those islands there? So those islands there, they are the stepping stones for the future of Japan. So Sadao used to ask, where shall we step from them? Sadao had asked seriously, and Sadao asked that, from there, father, where shall we go? Where will we go from here? So Dr. Sadao's father used to say, who knows? His father had answered, who can limit our future? It depends on what we make it. So basically, Sadao's father used to take him to these particular islands and at this particular coastline, and he used to look at those islands far off, and he used to point at them, and he used to say that these islands are going to be the stepping stone for the future of Japan. That means from those islands, apparently Japan is going to do lot of advancement. It would grow, and it would be very, very good for everybody overall. Sadao had taken into his mind, as he did everything his father said. So this particular thought, Sadao says, that he had taken it into his mind, and he did everything as his father said. He was a very, very obedient boy. So he did exactly what his father said. His father, who never joked or played with him, but who spent infinite pains upon him, who was his only son. Now Sadao's father, he was not a very jovial sort of a person who used to play and crack jokes with Sadao. No, but he spent lot of pains upon him, and when we talk about pains, it refers to that he did everything that he could, so that Sadao would get the best of education. Sadao knew that his education was his father's chief concern. See, please underline over here. His father's main and only concern was that Sadao should get the best of education. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that could be learned of surgery and medicine. And it's only because of this that Sadao was sent to America at the age of 22. And why was he sent there? Because he was supposed to study surgery and medicine. Sadao is supposed to be a surgeon. He had come back at 30. So he had gone at the age of 22 and he had come back at the age of 30. And before his father died, he had seen Sadao, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but also as a scientist. And before Sadao's father could die, he was fortunate to see his son turn out to be not just a famous surgeon but also a known scientist, a renowned scientist. Why? Because he was perfecting a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean. So Sadao was a surgeon, a good surgeon, a very good surgeon, and he was also a scientist because he was perfecting a discovery. He was working on a discovery wherein by using that discovery or whatever he was into, the wounds would get entirely clean. Okay, so here is what we have an idea of, that the wounds would get entirely clean. He had not been sent abroad with the troops, and because Sadao is a good scientist, he is a good surgeon, he was not sent abroad with the troops. He was not sent during the World War with the troops, with the army. Okay, now whenever the troops move for a war or an emergency situation, definitely a medical team goes with them, so that in case if any soldier or the troops need any sort of medical treatment, so a doctor is right there for helping them out. or for providing medical care. Also, he knew there was some slight danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically. And for this possibility, Sadao was being kept in Japan. Now, there is another reason. There are two reasons that why Sadao was not sent with the troops. Okay. So, one, we know that he is perfecting a discovery, and the other thing is that there is this general of the army who needs an operation or who may need an operation because he was in a physical condition for which he was being treated medically by Sadao. So this general seems to be, a sort of a selfish man. And general को लगा, if I send Sadao और पीछे से अगर मेरी तबीयत खराब हो जाती है तो who will take care of me? Because he was under the treatment of Dr. Sadao. So this is the reason that Sadao was not sent with the troops abroad, and he was right there in Japan, of course perfecting his discovery and being at the assistance of this general. So one thing that you need to know here is that I am highlighting this for you, okay, and you can do it too, and you can underline it, that this general is going to play some role as we turn the pages and go ahead in the story. So as of now, you know that general is under the treatment of Dr. Sadao. So the two reasons why Sadao has not been sent with the troops to abroad is, one, that he is perfecting a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean. So you can put a 1 over here. And the second reason is the general, that the general is worried about his own health and he cannot risk it in the hands of any other doctor but only Dr. Sadao. So far what have we understood? We began with the description of Sadao's house, a little bit about his father, and then at the age of 22 he goes to America. At the age of 30 he comes back. And then why is Sadao in Japan? You know this. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves. Now this is the description of the weather. There were clouds that were rising. Sadao's house is at a shoreline. It is at the beach. So clouds were rising from the ocean, and because of the warmth there was some unexpected fog and heavy fog from the cold waves. Sadao watched mists hide outlines of a little island near the shore, and it was only because of this mist. Mist क्या होती है बेटा? धुंध. Okay, you know fog. We get fog in winters, but mists are धुंधला धुंधला सा होता है. So at that particular evening where he is standing in the present, okay, so he saw that mists had hidden the outlines of a little island near the shore, and then come creeping up the beach below the house, wreathing around the pines. So mists is moving. धुंध जो है, it started covering, it started hiding. पहले किसे hide करा? The island. Then it covered the beach. Then it started wreathing. Wreathing मतलब going around the pine trees. In a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house and house too. So Sadao says that in a few minutes, fog is going to cover the house too. Then he would go into the room where Hannah, his wife, would be waiting for him with the 2 children. So another character we come across, and that is Hannah. And Hannah is Sadao's wife, and also we come to know that Sadao has 2 children. Please keep marking, keep highlighting so that you may not forget, because it's a slightly lengthy chapter. But at this moment, the door opened and she looked out. But this very moment, when Sadao was planning to go in the house, in the room, to see his children and his wife, suddenly the door opened and a lady looks out, and she is wearing a dark blue woolen haori. Okay, so haori over her kimono. So kimono is a Japanese traditional outfit, and haori as you can see here, a loose outer garment wore over the kimono. See children, I would really prefer if you Google these two terms, Haori and kimono, both. I am going to send you pictures, but the moment you see them, you will immediately come to know these are very traditional Japanese outfits that, of course, Sadao's wife Hana is wearing. She came to him affectionately and put her arm through his as he stood, smiled and said nothing. So wherever Sadao was standing, Hana comes and she puts her arm through Sadao's arm and smiled and said nothing. So she just comes and she stands next to her husband. Now Sadao will tell us how he met Hana. Okay, so we are going in the past, flashback. He had met Hana. Who is he? Dr. Sadao. He had met Hana in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was a Japanese. Now see, Sadao had met Hana in America, but it was not that he saw Hana and he fell in love. No, he wanted to be sure that she was a Japanese. Why? His father would never have received her until she had been pure in her race. Sadao's father, a very traditional Japanese man, he would have never allowed Sadao marrying anybody else but a pure Japanese. So Sadao had to be sure before falling in love with Hana that Hana was a Japanese. Okay? He wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hana. And many times Sadao used to wonder, सोचता था वो कि अगर मेरी शादी Hana से नहीं होती तो किससे होती. And by what luck he had found her in the most casual way, by chance literally, at an American professor's house. And he used to think कि it was such a casual way. It was simply luck, just luck by chance sort of, that he had found Hana. कैसे Hana मिली उसको? At an American professor's house. So there were these American professor, an American couple, and Sadao says the professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for their few foreign students. So there was this professor and his wife, and they were very keen on helping these foreign students. So apparently there was Sadao, and there would have been some more foreign students who would have been there in America to study medicine. So of course Hana was also a student, and Sadao saw Hana at this American professor's house. And the students, though bored, had accepted this kindness. Sadao had often told Hana how nearly he had not gone to Professor Hale's house that night. So exactly what was happening? Professor Hale had given his house, or had put up his house as a PG wherein students can stay. So the students had accepted their kindness, and he's saying that he had almost refused to go to Professor Hale's house that night. And why? So we come to know that what was the problem. So I'm turning the page here. The rooms were so small, he says. The rooms were so small, number one. The food so bad. The professor's wife so voluble. So there were three reasons due to which Sadao had thought that I am not going to stay at Professor Hale's house. Why? Because the rooms were very small, the food was very bad, and the most annoying thing was that the professor's wife was so voluble. Voluble matlab very talkative. She used to talk a lot. But he had gone, who? Sadao. Sadao had gone to Professor Hale's house, and there he found Hana. A new student, and had felt he would love her if it were all possible. So what is this if? This if stands as subject to condition only if Hannah would have been a Japanese. And yes, Hannah was a true Japanese. There's no doubt about it. And now in the present, they are married. Okay. So now he felt her hand on his arm and was aware of the pleasure it gave him. So now he is feeling very happy कि देखो एक टाइम था, I had not thought, मैंने सोच लिया था कि मैं प्रोफेसर हार्ले के घर जाऊंगा ही नहीं, I will not stay there. But then if he would have not gone there, he would have not met Hannah. Even though they had been married years enough to have the 2 children, they have been married for quite some time, and like I told you earlier, they have 2 children. For they had not married heedlessly in America. And see, very clearly Sadao says that they had not married heedlessly in America. Heedlessly मतलब बिना सोचे समझे, without giving it a thought. ऐसा नहीं था. They both were Japanese, they fell in love, and then they decided that they will go back home, talk to their parents, and then get married. They had finished their work at school and had come home to Japan. Clear? And when his father, whose father? Sadao's father. And when his father had seen her, who? Hannah, the marriage had been arranged in the old Japanese ways. और जब तक सदाओ के फादर ने हैना को ओके नहीं करा, तब तक शादी नहीं हुई. और जब शादी हुई भी, so it was in a very traditional Japanese way. Although Sadao and Hannah had talked everything beforehand, जबकि सब कुछ पहले से ही सदाओ और हैना ने डिस्कस कर लिया था. But then yes, father's blessings, father's agreement, father's permission was very important. Okay, they were perfectly happy. She laid her cheek against his arm, and they were a very, very happily married Japanese couple. Sadao married Hannah. Both are Japanese. Both have 2 lovely children, and it's a happy marriage. तो basically इसको ऐसे समझें कि सदाओ अपने घर पे यहाँ खड़ा हुआ है. When he starts talking here, so the present tense begin here. So he's standing in the balcony, okay, and he's looking at the ocean. And then he tells you about how he met Hannah, okay, and then they both of them are standing and they are quite happy of having each other in their lives. So at that very moment when they both are standing there, quite content with each other's presence, quite happy that they both are there, so suddenly something happens. It was at this moment that both of them saw something black come out of the mist. And that very moment when both of them were standing with each other, holding each other's arms, and Hannah having her cheek against his arm, that very moment इन्होंने कुछ देखा. And what did they see? They saw something black, a black figure maybe, come out of the mists. धुंध में से कुछ black सा इनको निकलता नजर आया. And the narrator says it was a man. So they saw a man coming out of the mist. He was flung up out of the ocean. Flung means thrown. Okay? Flung up out of the ocean. Flung, it seemed, to his feet by a breaker. ठीक है? तो flung here means, as if thrown, and flung also means, when you get apparently disbalanced. And why? Because ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे उसको ठोकर लगी और बहुत जोर से उसको धक्का सा लगा, and he is trying to get up. He staggered a few steps. Staggered मतलब unsteady. एक तो होता है आप बिल्कुल फिट हैं, एकदम सही चल रहे हैं, you are not limping, you are not staggering, but he was very, very unsteady. Okay, his body outlined against the mist. This is an important passage, my dear students, so please pay attention. He was staggering. Okay, his body outlined against the mist. अभी क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा है क्योंकि अंधेरा हो गया है और बहुत धुंध है. His arms above his head. Then the curled mist hid him again. और इतना ही देख के फिर वो धुंध में फिर कवर हो गया, फिर छुप गया. Now see what Hannah says. Who is that? Hannah cried. She dropped Sadaw's arm and they both leaned over the railing of the veranda. So Sadaw and Hannah were standing at the veranda और ये अपनी रेलिंग से ऐसे टिके हुए थे और एकदम आगे झांक करके they leaned, they bent over the railing और एकदम हैना ने बोला कि who's that? देखो वो कौन है, okay? And they just started to lean over the railing of the veranda. Now they saw him again. अब वो फिर उनको दिखा आदमी. The man was on his hands and knees. और इस बार he was not staggering. He was on his hands and knees. He was crawling. अपने घुटनों पे था. Then they saw him fall on his face and lie there. और उसके बाद उन्होंने क्या देखा कि वो वहीं पे गिर गया. He fell flat on his face and he was lying there. A fisherman perhaps, Sadao said, washed from his boat. तो सदाव ने बोला अरे कोई फिशरमैन होगा और इसकी बोट पानी में बह गई होगी. So he's been washed from his boat. He ran quickly down the steps and he ran quickly behind the steps and behind him Hannah came. तो सदाव भागा और उसके पीछे पीछे हैना भागी. Her white sleeves flying. ये white sleeves किसकी हैं? ये white sleeves हैं उस हाओरी की, हाओरी HAORI, that she is wearing. A mile or two away on either side there were fishing villages. तो जहाँ पे इनका घर था, at that particular spot, उससे 1-8 किलोमीटर दोनों तरफ फिशिंग विलेजेस थे. बट हियर जहाँ पे इनका घर है was only the bare and lonely coast, dangerous with rocks. बट जहाँ सडाव का घर था वहाँ पे कोई विलेजेस नहीं थे. वहाँ पे सिर्फ एक लोनली कोस्ट था, कोस्ट लाइन थी. इट वॉज बेयर, खाली, एंड इट वॉज डेंजरस विद रॉक्स. इट हैड स्पाइकी रॉक्स ओवर देयर, ओके, पॉइंटेड. द सर्फ बियॉन्ड द बीच. और सर्फ क्या है? वेव्स. बीच आपको पता है, ठीक है. और बीच से आगे देखेंगे तो क्या दिखेगा? वेव्स दिखेंगी ऑफ द ओशन. द सर्फ बियॉन्ड द बीच वॉज स्पाइक्ड विद रॉक्स. तो एक तो बीच हो गया, बीच से आगे जब आप चलते हैं, ओके, वेयर देयर आर वेव्स, इट वॉज वेरी वेरी स्पाइकी, इट हैड रॉक्स, इट वॉज वेरी डेंजरस. ऐसा बीच नहीं था कि बिल्कुल एकदम नाइस एंड काम एंड absolutely smooth. No, the most annoying part or the most dangerous part of this particular beach was the presence of these spiked rocks. और spiked मतलब pointed. You all know spiky hairstyle करते हैं ना, वैसे ही spiked rocks. Somehow the man had managed to come through them. और पता नहीं कैसे ये जो इंसान है जो दिख रहा है, ओके, ये पता नहीं कैसे बच करके उन रॉक्स से इस तरफ शोर पे आ गया था. He must be badly torn. And Sadao says he must be badly torn, मतलब he must be badly injured. उसको बहुत अच्छे से चोट लगी होगी क्योंकि इतने सारे स्पाइकी पत्थरों को, स्पाइकी रॉक्स को पार करके आना is not easy. Okay? They saw when they came toward him that indeed it was so. और जैसे ही ये दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ इस इंसान के पास आते हैं, they come close to this man, they were very sure about it. Sure about what? That yes, he was badly torn. He is badly injured. Okay? कैसे पता लगा? The sand on one side of him had already a stain of red soaking through. तो जो सैंड था ऑन वन साइड ऑफ हिज बॉडी, जो उसके नीचे जो सैंड था, इट हैड अ रेड स्टेन. वो बिल्कुल रेड हो रखा था. तो ये रेड स्टेन कैसे था बेटा? दिस रेड स्टेन ओवर हियर, इट रेफर्स टू ब्लड. इट वॉज ऑल रेड. ही इज वुंडेड, सदाव एक्सक्लेम्ड. ही मेड हेस्ट टू द मैन. और जल्दी से, सी डोंट फॉरगेट, सदाव इज अ सर्जन. So a doctor and a professional, so immediately he gets into action. He made haste to the man who lay motionless. This man is motionless, he is unconscious. his face in the sand. An old cap stuck to his forehead, soaked with sea water. He was in wet rags of garments. और उसके कपड़े कैसे थे? बिल्कुल wet rags, फटे पुराने. Sadao stopped Hannah at his side and turned the man's head. तो उन्होंने क्या करा? ये उसके पास गए, नीचे झुके और उन्होंने इसका फेस जो है, इसका हेड जो है एक तरफ टर्न करा. और हैना ने क्या विस्पर करा? हैना विस्पर्ड, अ वाइट मैन. हैना whispered. So a white man here means an American. So this white man, my dear students, is the prisoner of war who had escaped from the jail apparently, and now he comes, somehow he escapes, he's injured and he is lying at the shore close to the house of Dr. Sadao and Hannah. Yes, it was a white man. The wet cap fell away and there was his wet yellow hair, the blonde hair. और hair कैसा था? Long, as though for many weeks it had not been cut. And upon his young and tortured face, see, please underline, these are few, phrases coming over here. Young and tortured face. He is a young boy. और उसका फेस कैसा है? टॉर्चर्ड फेस. ही इज अ प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर. एंड इफ यू आर अ प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर कौन होता है बेटा? फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप ये समझ लीजिए, आई एम जस्ट कोटिंग एन एग्जाम्पल, कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान का वॉर हुआ, ठीक है, और हमने कुछ पाकिस्तानी सोल्जर्स को पकड़ लिया, तो वो क्या हो गए? प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर. उसी तरीके से जापानीज आर्मी ने इस अमेरिकन सोल्जर को पकड़ लिया था, देयरफॉर ही हैड बिकम अ प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर, बट समहाउ ही हैड एस्केप्ड. सो उसका फेस कैसा था? यंग एंड टॉर्चर्ड. ऑब्वियसली इफ यू आर अ प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर तो आपको दे विल नॉट ट्रीट यू एज अ गेस्ट इन अ 5 स्टार, यू विल बी टॉर्चर्ड. सो ही हैड लॉन्ग वेट yellow hair. Upon his young and tortured face was a rough yellow beard, all blonde. He was unconscious and knew nothing that they did for him. और क्या हो गया? This boy, this man, this prisoner of war, this white man, as Hannah said, as she quotes, he was unconscious. And he just didn't know that what these people are doing for him. Okay. Now Sadao remembered the wound, and with his expert fingers, see, he's a surgeon, so he'll be very quick in his actions. He began to search for it. तो Sadao को याद आया कि कहीं से तो blood निकल रहा था. Sorry. And he started, with his expert fingers, he wanted to search for it. Blood flowed freshly at his touch. और जैसे ही सडाओ ने वहां पे टच करा, फ्रेश ब्लड निकलने लगा. So where was this wound? Let's see. On the right side of his lower back. Got it? Sadao saw that a gun wound had been reopened. There was a gun wound. किसी ने इस prisoner को पीछे से had fired at him, had shot at him. तो एक गन वूंड था जो रीओपन हो गया था. द फ्लैश वॉज ब्लैकेंड विद पाउडर. एंड फ्लैश कैसा था? इट वॉज ऑल ब्लैकेंड. सम टाइम, नॉट मेनी डेज अगो, द मैन हैड बीन शॉट एंड हैड नॉट बीन टेंडेड. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू सडाओ, फ्यू डेज बैक ओनली, बहुत दिन पुराना शॉट नहीं है, कुछ दिन पहले ही इसको गोली लगी है. ही हैज बीन शॉट एंड देन इसका जो वूंड है ये टेंड नहीं हुआ है. इट वॉज नॉट टेकन केयर ऑफ. ठीक है, उसको, उस वूंड को प्रॉपर, गॉड नोज वेदर वो बुलेट निकली भी है या नहीं निकली है, कोई बैंडेज नहीं हुआ है, द वूंड हैज नॉट बीन गिवन स्टिचेस, नथिंग. इट वॉज बैड चांस दैट द रॉक हैड स्ट्रक द वूंड. और भी ज्यादा बैड चांस ये था कि ये जो स्पाइकी रॉक्स में से होता हुआ आया है ये प्रिजनर ऑफ वॉर, देयर वॉज अ चांस कि इन रॉक्स ने क्या करा? ये वूंड को स्ट्रक करा और ये उसमें चुभ गए. एंड मे बी दे हैव रीओपन्ड द वूंड रियली रियली बैड. ओके, लेट मी जस्ट कंप्लीट दिस देन. ओह, हाउ ही इज ब्लीडिंग, Hannah whispered again in a solemn voice. The mist screened them now completely, and at this time of the day no one came by. So अब Hannah is also saying कि कितना ब्लड निकल रहा है, और इन लोगों को बिल्कुल चारों तरफ से फॉग ने घेर लिया है. And at this time of the day, in the evening, nobody comes to the beach. The fishermen had gone home. जो फिशिंग करने आते थे वो भी चले जाएंगे भाई शाम होते ही अपने घर. And even the chance beachcombers would have considered the day at an end. Or beachcombers. So beachcombers are like vagrants, are like beggars. जो बीच पे घूमते रहते हैं, वहां से कुछ भी उठा लेते हैं, उसको बेच लेते हैं, एंड यू नो दे अर्न मनी. जैसे हमने रैग पिकर्स देखे थे ना स्टोरी में, ऐसे ही होते हैं बीच कोम्बर्स, बेगर्स हु कीप रोमिंग एट द बीच. दे पिक अप थिंग्स फ्रॉम द शोर एंड देन दे सेल दोज थिंग्स एंड दे अर्न मनी. और ये टाइम ऐसा भी नहीं था कि वहां पे कोई बीच कोम्बर्स होते, बिकॉज इवन दे वुड हैव कंसिडर्ड द डे एट एन एंड. And then the question comes, what shall we do with this man? The most important question. And from here, the dilemma begins. From here, the problem begins. From here, the confusion begins. And from here, we come back to the same situation from where we had started, okay, on page number 1, wherein I was referring to patriotism versus humanity. Dr. Sadao is a Japanese, he's a Jap, okay? And if we talk about humanity, he is a surgeon, he's a doctor. So he is a Japanese and he is a surgeon, and the problem is that an American prisoner of war is washed ashore. And then the question arises, what shall we do with this man? Sadao muttered in a very low voice. He said, क्या करें इसका, इस आदमी का? Okay? So this is a question. But his trained hands seemed of their own will to be doing what they could to stanch the fearful bleeding. Stanch means stop. But दो वो ये क्वेश्चन कर रहा था, बट उसके जो हैंड्स थे, ट्रेन हैंड्स मतलब दे आर द हैंड्स ऑफ अ सर्जन, वो अपने आप ही ऑटोमेटिकली यू नो दे वर गोइंग ऑन टू डू समथिंग टू स्टॉप द fearful bleeding. So I'm going to stop here and we will take up the next session in the and the remaining of the chapter will be taken up there. But as of now, what are you going to do? You are going to answer these. Who was Dr. Sadao? Where was his house? Okay. And then, will Dr. Sadao be arrested on the charge of harboring an enemy? A very important question. और इसका जवाब आप देंगे मुझे. If Dr. Sadao, who yes we know is a surgeon, if he takes this unconscious, young and tortured prisoner of war, जिसको हैना बोलती है a white man, तो क्या हो गया? Will the Japanese army arrest Dr. Sadao? और क्या चार्ज लगाएंगे डॉक्टर सडाओ को कि आपने एक एनिमी को अपने घर में छुपाया हुआ है. सो नाउ डॉक्टर सडाओ इज इन अ फिक्स. शुड ही हेल्प दिस एनिमी बिकॉज ही इज अ डॉक्टर, और शुड ही लेट दिस मैन डाई just thinking that I am a Japanese and I cannot help an American? Or should he forget everything and should just he take this man thinking कि छोड़ो कि वो कौन है, अमेरिकन है, इंडियन है, क्या है? Right now he is a patient and I am a doctor. So these questions you will be doing, you will be revising the chapter, and with this thought I would like to take your leave here now with the question of patriotism versus humanity in this chapter, The Enemy.